Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. McCollum staying with him. Spins, gets inside. Left-handed off the glass. Oh, what a sweet move.
Giddey, tough spot. Backdoor. What a pass. What a play. And J-Dub picks the pocket of Trae Young. He'll take it himself.
This is Lou Dort. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, and welcome to the Uncontested Podcast, Emergency Pod edition, as the OKC Thunder have made the first move of the offseason, trading Josh Giddey to the Chicago Bulls for the return of Alex Caruso. I'm your host, Jacob Niffen. I got JD Silva with me.
Fella, didn't expect this.
JD, representation matters. And I now have someone on the Thunder who looks like me that I can cheer for.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Before we dive into all of the reaction to this trade, this is just the tip of the iceberg, man. Want to let you guys know we're brought to you by the Blue Wire Podcast Network and Dave's Hot Chicken and Spark OKC. Speaking of Dave's Hot Chicken, they are sponsoring the draft live stream next Wednesday night. So make sure to tune in Wednesday during the draft. We're going to be live here for like 4 hours. We're going to be reacting to maybe more Thunder trades, all the draft picks, eating some Daves while we're here. Just earlier today, I tweeted out our mock draft contest. So go join that. We are giving away prizes to the winner of the mock draft contest. So go tune in. Make your picks for the draft. But right now, we're not talking draft, JD.
Yeah.
We are talking Alex Caruso, the return to Oklahoma City, the end of the Josh Giddey era. So many thoughts. We have no outline. We are just riffing. We're going off of vibes. If you guys got thoughts, drop them in the comments section. Drop them in the chat. We'd love to see what you guys got to say here. JD, I didn't even get the Woj tweet.
Yeah,
I got a text.
I saw my phone go off and I didn't check, which is usually when something happens. And I checked and I saw breaking: the Chicago Bulls are trading. And I kind of looked away because I don't care what the Bulls are doing. I was still working, I think, at the time. And then I checked it again, and lo and behold, Josh is on the graphic. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I didn't get the Woj tweet. Like, my notifications didn't pop up. Nothing. I got a text from a buddy that just said, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "What?" And I pulled up Twitter, and I had no notifications. And I refreshed a few times, and I saw Woj, and then I said, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
Oh my God. Where do you want to start?
Well, we haven't discussed this this is not at all what Presti strikes again. We haven't discussed this combination of team and player at all.
Maybe first we should just start with the trade. Like the pieces itself.
Which
Josh Giddey.
Yeah, it can't be straight up.
It's straight up.
It's nothing else.
It's just Giddey for Caruso. There's no draft pick compensation here.
Okay.
I mean,
that feels.
Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. There's been no report. I think this is just a straight up trade. Josh Giddey goes out. Alex Caruso is on the last year of his contract, making around $10 million. He is extension eligible 6 months after the day of the trade. On that time in 6 months, he will be eligible for about 4 year, $80 million. So that would be about 20 a year. And according to Woj's reporting, that's the plan. Like, the Thunder plan to sign him to that extension and keep him around long term.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, that's probably about what Josh was going to cost you, that 20 mil a year. And instead, you are filling that role with Alex Caruso instead. For those who don't know, I'll pull up some Caruso stats for you real quick. He is 30 years old. He'll be 31 in February. 6'5", 185 pounds. Nicknames: the Bald Mamba, Bald Eagle, the Caruso, Goat, AC, White Mamba 2.0, and the accountant.
I love the accountant's awesome.
He was
I'm
10th
looking
in
at his
Defensive
stats
Player
right
of the
now,
Year.
too.
He was second team all defense this season.
Yeah.
Averaged 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.5 steals, 1 block per game. Shot 41% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. I mean, okay, so that's the info.
Yeah.
I've been talking a lot. JD, wherever you want to go with it.
Okay, so my instant reactions are, what does this mean for the rest of the team? Alex Caruso, obviously a good player. Let's ask this question, because I think this leads us to the rest of it.
I gotta change this picture now.
Yeah, we got to change the intro. We got to change that. We're
busy.
We're losing all of our Australian listeners now. What do you do? But is Alex Caruso better than Lou Dort? I feel like he is. Is he not? He's older.
I don't know. But
5 years old.
before we have that convo, you just mentioned the Australian listeners.
Yes.
I'm going to miss Josh. I enjoy Josh as a basketball player. He was like the first rebuild pick, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We love our Australian listeners. We knew that we felt like the writing has been on the wall for Josh for quite some time now. Still, that was a dude like that end of season interview like was tough, you know, and you could see that he was he really felt like this was home, but I think both sides knew that the basketball fit wasn't right. It's kind of where I'm at with that. I just wanted to say that. Now, is Caruso better than Dort? I mean, I don't know.
I want to say we can at least say they have similar skill sets and they play a similar position. So there's an overlap there now. And I don't know if
Lou is much younger.
5 years younger. I mean, Caruso, I think, is a more proven. He's one of the best steal guys in the NBA.
He's just one of the best defenders in the NBA.
One of the best defenders in the NBA. And I don't know. This just makes me think another trade is coming, if I'm being totally honest.
I agree with you. Because do you think Caruso starts?
I kind of do.
Wow, because I do not. I feel like he's coming off the bench.
I think this is it, and this is crazy to say, but I personally think Caruso is better than Dort. So would they move Dort to the bench?
I do not think so. I think Caruso will play off the bench. And I think there's so much shit we need to talk about.
There's so much. But they lost size. A team that was already small just got smaller.
You cannot start Shea, Lou, Caruso, Dub, and Chet. Like, I just don't think that works.
That
Caruso does play bigger than he is, but you actually need somebody that's big. JD, to me, they just traded the young guy for a 30-year-old win-now veteran.
Yeah.
To me, the alarms are going off. The lights are flashing. We're getting the wee-woo, wee-woo.
Yeah.
They're not... I almost dropped the F-bomb. They're not fricking around.
Frickin' S.
They're not fricking around.
Yeah.
Like, the chips are pushed to the middle of the table now. Presti is going in.
Yeah.
Now, you just expended one of your assets in Josh Giddey. But you still have $33 million in cap space and all your draft picks and other guys you can trade. I feel like I feel more confident now than I did an hour ago that the trade for the guy that's going to start at the 4 on this team is on the way this summer.
I 100% agree. And I think it's going to be someone that's more established.
Interesting. So like
I don't think they're going to trade for a 21-year-old or a 22-year-old. You know,
what does that mean for Denny, JD?
I don't know.
Is he established?
Is that the kind?
I mean, you now have a guy that you can. He's on your team now. You can speak to Caruso and say, "Should we make the play for Patrick Williams?"
You definitely could.
Who's going to have better info than him?
Right. Well, Billy Donovan, they probably have that. I mean, they have that connection also. I'm sure they discussed this before all that happened, but
Yes.
I don't.
People in
I
the
mean,
chat saying like Cody Williams or like they might draft a wing, but I feel confident right now that they are going out to trade for or sign in free agency their starting four.
Yeah. And
like to me, I feel like this is no longer. Presti told us it's still not an arrival; it's an appearance. Actions speak louder than words, my friend.
Yeah,
like they are pushing the chips in. That's what this feels like. You don't go get a 30-year-old guy that's a win now unless you are ready to push the chips in.
Yeah. Who said it in our Slack that the Presti just saw what Derek White did and said, "Get me one of those guys." Like,
yeah,
Caruso is that type of guy. I don't know. I'm not as familiar with him as a off the dribble player because the Thunder do need some of that threat. I know his rim field goal percentage is better than Lou Dort's. Lou Dort shot 56% at the rim, and he shot 61, so a little bit better there. He's a better shooter than Lou. Like,
he's a great athlete.
Yeah, regardless of the question I asked earlier, who's better, Lou or Caruso? They're both on the team. Doesn't really matter. If you do have Caruso coming off the bench with Case and Wallace,
oh my God,
holy
how do you
hell.
score?
I don't know.
How do you score?
I don't know.
Now, earlier I said I don't think Caruso starts. He could close games.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he guarded in games against Phoenix. He guarded Kevin Durant. Like
Stupid. Yeah.
They were a top 5 defense, and they just got significantly better defensively. They just traded. I don't want this to sound like a bashing Josh segment. They just traded of their top 9 rotation guys. Did they just trade their worst defender?
Yeah. Yeah, but Josh was still solid, but out of those.
Yeah, but they traded their worst defender in the top 9, you think, right?
Yeah.
Shea, Lou, Dort, Chet, Josh, Kaysen, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Kenrich Williams, Jalen Williams. Josh is the weakest defender of those 10, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. And I don't think that's like.
And I'm not saying Josh is a bad defender. I'm just saying you just traded your weakest of your 10.
Yeah.
For a back-to-back all-defensive guy.
And he received some third place DPOY votes last season.
Yeah. Like, again, this is not trying to bash Josh at all.
No.
Josh has some very, very, very good basketball skills. But you were just a top 5 defense in the league, and you just got rid of your weakest defender and added a 2-time all-defensive player who was in his physical prime.
He may be next to.
How the hell are you scoring on this team next year, JD?
There's not going to be any room to breathe, and you are. Oh my God, there's so much to think about. They're committing to more money now, long term.
Not long term, yes, but not yet. That extension, it's basically the same amount that Josh was making. Let me look these numbers up just to be completely sure. I don't want to give false information on the podcast. Caruso next season makes $9.9 million.
That's insane, by the way.
And Josh this past season, Josh next season, if they didn't extend or whatever, even if they did extend him, next season is going to make 8.3. So they're on the hook for $1 more million. And then if you extend Caruso starting the following year, he'll make about 20 mil.
So some things that we think are true. Let's talk through this. We do think they're gonna acquire their new starting 4. Is that safe to say at this point? After we've talked it out a little bit, we think this means it's more likely they're going to trade for a starting 4.
I feel, I'm not saying it's 100% happening because I do not have the ability to know that.
Yeah.
I feel way more confident that they're trading for a starting 4.
Yeah.
Now than I did. Also, just to let you know, Mark Stein of I don't even know where Stein is with now. But he says that the trade is straight up, no draft compensation included.
That is a phenomenal deal. That is a phenomenal. I actually think Josh is going to be really good in Chicago. Great great.
They need to get shooters.
Great deal.
Flip
Yeah.
side, from Chicago's standpoint,
Mhm.
you just traded your best win now guy, the guy that affected winning the most,
Mhm.
for a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
There was talks about them bringing DeRozan back. I don't know if that's going to happen. If I'm them now, word today was they've made 15 different trade offers for Zach LaVine. If I'm them now, I'm moving off Zach. I'm moving off DeMar. I'm moving off Vooch. I'm bringing Pat Will back, and I'm going the youth movement
Yep. That's
with
right. They need
Josh
to
and
pick
Kobe
direction.
in your backcourt.
Yeah, I think that's true. Another thing I wanted to ask you. So we think they're going to trade for a 4 now. You know, a team that was already small just got smaller,
Mm-hmm.
but a team that already has some guards, and we were talking about they could even draft a guard. I doubt that's going to happen now. What does this mean for Isaiah Joe and Wiggins long term?
It's a great question because they're both about Caruso sized as well.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a bunch of guys who are like 6'4", 6'5", and not a bunch of guys who are like 6'8", 6'9", 6'10".
And Joe is going to make quite a bit.
I wonder. That's a great point, JD. That is a great point. I don't know.
Can you pay Wiggins, Joe, and Caruso? Like Joe could get offered, assuming if they don't extend him this offseason, does he go to restricted next year?
Either they can make him a restricted free agent this summer,
Mm-hmm.
or play out this last year and he's unrestricted the next summer.
I mean, someone could throw him 20 a year.
I totally agree. I think Wiggins is more in like the 10 to 12 range.
Doable, more doable. I think.
Where I think Joe is going to be closer to the 20 range.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Joe is now a candidate to get traded this summer.
That's kind of what I'm leaning.
Nick Crane has been on that for a while now. That was his prediction. I mean, that would make a little more sense now, because where is the space for Shea, Lou, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins? Like, I do not think they're going to draft a guard now.
No, definitely not.
This actually makes me feel a little more like they're not making a pick at 12 and they're trading the pick
For a win now player. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much that player can cost at this point. Like I don't know how this affects that player making a ton of money long term with Caruso, you know, them theoretically committing to paying Caruso for the future. I don't know how all that works, but I know I have a lot of questions, and I think this summer is going to be more exciting than we thought. They're not just running it back. They're not. Are they going for it?
I feel like this is the going for it move. It's no more, let's let guys develop. Let's see what Ousmane Dieng becomes. I mean, it's right there in front of our faces, right?
Yeah.
You just traded the 21-year-old for the 30-year-old.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just going for it, dude.
They're going for it, and I didn't expect it to come this early. Like, I expected if something was going to happen, I thought it'd be on draft night.
Same. I think something could still happen on draft night.
I know. And I'm even more excited now for that stream because more could happen. A lot more could happen, I think.
And here's the thing with Caruso as well. Like, I know he's in his last year. JD, I would be shocked if they don't get Caruso on the extension like 6 months to the day.
Oh yeah, they had.
Like, I bet the contract is signed before the end of the summer, and they're just waiting to fax that thing in.
Mm-hmm.
I would be shocked if the extension doesn't come to fruition.
Yeah, I don't think Presti's making that deal without.
And so you're kind of locking yourself in to the Shea, Dort, Dub, Chet, Caruso, Kaysen. That's like your core six now, I feel like.
Yeah.
And now you got to go get some bigger bodies.
You have to. Like they can't go acquire another guard at this point.
I don't think that's happening now.
No, not even a wing at this point, unless it's a really big wing. Like this is it. And I don't think they're going to play Dub at the 4 in that same way.
I agree. I think they have to go get a big 4. I think that's next on the list.
This is fascinating. This is fascinating. Is it someone Denny's caliber or better?
Dude, I don't know. I mean,
This kind of makes me feel like they're gonna take a larger swing than that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Who's the larger swing though? Is my question. Like, I don't know who it is.
I have no idea. Bobby Portis? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know.
I really like the idea of Pascal Siakam just signed. Like, is there playing room for Jarris Walker? Can you go steal him? I don't know if they want to go that young. I think they're just ready to go freaking win basketball games, dude.
From Chef Maine in the comments, and we have some super chats to go through immediately after this. Rate the trade on a scale of 1 to 10. I mean,
9?
9? Did you say 9 also?
Yeah, I think it's 9.
It's probably 9. Super chats. Well, there was one when we first started from Caden. JD, I'm pouring honey on you. Thanks. Appreciate that. From Kid Got Game 45, Presti has my respect more now than ever. Shout out. He's a dealer. Makes deals. From Alan McIntosh. He says, I'm sad that we're losing Giddey, but man, getting Caruso is a steal. Presti has done it again. Casuals won't understand what we just got. I'm stoked. Yeah, if you go show your dad a picture of Caruso and say, hey, we just got this guy, it's not going to go well.
But he's a baller.
He's a baller.
Dog.
He's a dog.
How many games until Caruso barks?
Oh. Are we sure they're going to bark again next year?
I don't know. But Caruso, I think, just barks in his sleep.
Yeah. And
some people in the chat talking about KD. I don't know how viable of an option that is now.
I agree. Because I think he would have been a part of that.
I think you needed the Giddey salary.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have the salary otherwise to go make that happen.
I agree. I did want that to happen, but I don't think it's happening now.
I really think another big move is on the way. Big, like role player, like
top.
This is a massive move. Like Alex Caruso isn't like the all-star or whatever, but this is a massive move, dude.
He's like your NBA nerd all-star, though. Like your Zach Lowe's of the world and people of that stature are like Alex Caruso is like a top 3 guard defender in the NBA. He's just been on an irrelevant team, so you don't get to see him that often, but he is a menace.
He's going to be awesome, dude. This defense is going to be insane.
Do they have the best group of... Okay, I mean, we just saw the Celtics win the championship, but like outside of that, the Thunder probably have the best group of guard defenders in the NBA now.
I would say that's correct.
Because Kaysen is young, but...
Think of the Dallas series. The Dallas series was Lou on Doncic, and it was J-Dub on Kyrie. You now move Caruso over to one of those two.
And they're in hell. And
then now Dub could have guarded like PJ. And you just slide everybody over.
It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense.
I mean, there's going to be lineups where it's going to be the 4 starters and Caruso, and they're going to go a little small. But holy shit, they're going to clamp everyone on the perimeter. And if you get by them, you have to deal with Chet.
Yeah.
Who's only going to get better. JD, they might have the number 1 defense in the league next year.
They really might.
I know that's kind of reactionary because of this trade and being excited and blah, blah, blah. They were top 5 this year. And they just added a 2-time all-defensive guy, replacing your weakest defender on the team.
And as much as, I mean, we saw the struggles with, I'm talking about Josh in the context of this Thunder team. I think the offense maybe gets better too. Because there's not...
You're adding more shooting, and Chicago's going to be a good fit for Josh if they get shooters.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good fit for him. But I agree with you. I think Josh is a great player. I think he made the OKC offense clunky because of the skill overlap and the lack of shooting.
And that's gone now. Like that concern. You're not going to see people ignoring Alex Caruso. He's shot 41% from 3 last year.
Silver, are you just about to watch Caruso highlights all night?
I might. I really
won't
might.
be the only one.
I'm gonna get tired of looking at him pretty quick. He's a pretty ugly dude, gotta say.
Hey, go to hell.
You're more handsome than Alex Caruso, Jacob.
Thank you. I
To be
appreciate
clear.
that.
We're gonna see this joke a lot. He did play with the Thunder before.
Yep. Played for Mark Daignault before.
He did. Reunited.
I can't believe it, dude. It's wild.
No, and I can't. Yeah,
It's a lot to digest.
it's a lot. We're gonna have to change the intro pretty quick.
Yes.
No more Giddey there. I have a Giddey jersey. It's a relic now. My other jersey's Anthony Morrow, and if you've read the news in the last year, can't really wear that one. So need another jersey.
It's interesting.
What the
So
hell?
who do you think the 4 is? Give me like 3 names.
All right, 3 names.
If we both think they're gonna go make another move, give me 3 names.
As much as I would like the Patrick Williams deal, wouldn't that have just happened in this if it was going to happen?
No, because he is a restricted free agent. He can't be traded.
Great.
He's
point.
gonna have to be signed or signed and traded.
Okay. I'm putting Denny. I'm putting Denny there.
Thank you.
You know, but now the Denny trade kind of always involved Josh.
That's true.
So who do you give up?
I don't know how you make it work now.
Usman. You just ship
Oos
him away?
12 and another first.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They draft Star. You got 3 French dudes on the team. Think about that.
They do need a point guard though, so I don't know. This doesn't mean anything for Kaysen, does it? Like it can't.
No, I know.
He's
I
so
don't think
good.
He's really good. Like I don't know what his ceiling is at this point.
God, opposing backcourts are going to be in hell,
In
JD.
total hell.
Absolute hell.
Super chat from Malik Haywood. Is Obi Toppin an option?
Could be. Definitely could be. I think
that'd
OB
be
would be
fun.
more of a bench guy, not a start guy. And I think they need to go get a starter at the 4.
Jarris would be something special.
Erotic.
It'd be full on erotic.
I just don't know.
And
Do
that
they
does
want to move him?
I mean they didn't play him last year, like much at all. I keep seeing my phone go off and I'm like, what's happening? But
We're not putting OG on the list, are we?
no. I would feel weird about that with the health concerns. Like
Yeah.
I'd be excited, and then his first injury, I'd be like, okay, great. Now we're stuck with this guy for years on end. And
Some people in the chat asking about like Lauri Markkanen. I think that's out the window. Josh was probably your best chip for that.
Mhm.
That's just not going to happen.
That's what's weird is that Josh is in a lot of these trades that we mocked up before. So
Nick Crane is in our Slack right now saying Jonathan Isaac.
Nick, don't do that. Don't you put that evil on me, Nick Crane.
I can't believe it, JD.
No. That was
You still haven't
It
given me 3 names, by the way.
I know because it's
Denny, Patrick Williams.
Bobby Portis, but
Bobby
that doesn't make any
Portis.
sense because what the hell would Milwaukee want from OKC at this point? I don't know. That OKC would be willing to give up. Like,
Who do you think is most likely to get traded off this team next? Like rotation guy.
oh God,
I don't think it's any of the other starting 4 or Kaysen. Is it Isaiah Joe?
I think it's Isaiah Joe or Lou.
I don't think it's Lou, dude. I'd be shocked if they moved Lou.
I would be too. And to be clear, I would also be shocked. But if I have to say a name, they did just get some skill overlap by acquiring Caruso, and Caruso would fit pretty damn well in Lou's place.
It's like good skill overlap, though, right?
It is good skill overlap. That's why it doesn't make sense to do. I'd be shocked.
I think it's Isaiah Joe.
It is. It's Isaiah Joe.
If you told me that in 6 days during the draft, we get the Thunder trading pick 12, a future first, and Isaiah Joe for X, like that would make a lot of sense to me now.
And we're probably not going to guess the name because I don't think any of us have ever said that Caruso was a trade candidate on any recent podcasts.
Carrie in the chat says Lou has the salary matching at this point, but you got 33 million cap space. You don't have to match.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Julian says Isaiah Joe is now our worst defender. Probably right.
Yeah.
And
Isaiah Joe's
solid.
not bad.
No.
You buy a lot of people in the chat are saying PG. You buying anything in the PG stuff?
No.
Neither am I.
I think he wants to stay in LA.
Could you imagine though?
That'd be pretty sick.
They'd be the title favorites.
Oh yeah.
They would be the title favorites. Sylvia, you ready to call it?
We can call it. Are we gonna
don't think that this is the last time we're talking about
No.
Alex Caruso. We'll be back on Sunday. We just had to get on here and get you guys some content.
This is insane. Okay.
It is insane.
Well, everybody flee on back to Twitter. That's where we'll be watching Alex Caruso highlights.
Yep. JD's going to pump that outro music to get him in the mood to go make a new intro video.
Yep. One last good day, mate, for the road, Josh Giddey.
Hey, shout out to Josh Giddey, man. Came in some of the worst Thunder years ever. Grinded it out. Was a great basketball player. Dealt with a lot of off-court stuff. I think he's a good kid.
Yeah.
I think he went through some really, really difficult situations. As much as he loved this city and this team and his teammates, I think a fresh start in a new city and on a different basketball team where his skills can shine brighter will be great for him. And I think he will do very well as a Bull. I am excited for him, and I hope they extend him this summer.
Well said.
But it's Alex Caruso time, baby.
The White Mamba.
Get me the White Mamba. The Caruso is back in OKC. And I think it's a sign of things to come. They ain't done. More is on the way.
Sunday and Wednesday we'll be back. And those shows just got more exciting.
Oh, yeah. Sunday's going to be a banger. And then Wednesday night, come join the draft live stream. Whether you're in Oklahoma, out of state, out of country, at a watch party, at your house, hanging with the friends, whatever. Tune in to the draft stream. Hang out with us as we react to all the picks and trades live as they happen during the first round. And then we will do a post pod as well. So we will see you guys Sunday. Until then, and as always, the Caruso is here.